Are you dreaming of starting your business in Japan but don't know where to start? Navigating the process might feel overwhelming, but don't worry, we've got you covered. In this video, I'll break down the essential steps to obtain the Business Manager Visa and how to launch your company smoothly. Hello everyone, welcome to the SmartStart Japan YouTube channel. I'm Heikin, and at SmartStart Japan, we specialize in helping entrepreneurs like you establish business in Japan. Today, we'll dive deep into what it takes to get a Business Manager Visa and how to start your company's journey in Japan. Now, let's talk about who this video is for. This video is for you if you already have heard about the Business Manager Visa and you are now interested in learning more about the visa itself, what are the application's requirements, and how do you actually go about and apply for one. Second, you might have a business idea and you want to start your own venture while living in Japan. 3, you are looking for some more detailed information on the specific requirements for obtaining a Business Manager Visa, which we will talk about in this video. And 4, you're curious about how long the applications will take for your specific Business Manager Visa application and how long the approval process will take you. Now, let me introduce our team. First, we have our co-founder, Taejin Yoon. Born and raised in Japan, TJ brings years of experience in investment advisory and international relations. Fluent in both English and Japanese, he has guided over 25 companies and successfully managed to apply for 40 subsidies and loans applications in Japan. TJ is your go-to for navigating the complex setup requirements here in Japan. Next, we have Tyson Bettino. Tyson Bettino is our co-founder, who focuses on revenue growth and advisory services. And finally, here's me, Heikin. I'm the marketing manager and content creator here at SmartStart Japan, bringing you insights on how to launch your businesses in Japan. Starting with the basics, the Business Manager Visa is a unique visa designed for entrepreneurs and executives who want to actively manage their companies in Japan while living in Japan. Remember, this isn't a passive investment visa. It requires you to be hands-on in your business operation, so if you are ready to take that leap, this visa could open the doors to your dream company in Japan. The great news is that this visa is incredibly versatile. Whether you are planning to open a tech startup, a restaurant, or a real estate firm, or like a online consulting service, the Business Manager Visa will cover all of these scenarios, and it's not limited to any specific industry. Moreover, this visa is a stepping stone to a long-term residency in Japan. With indefinite renewals and a potential pathway to permanent residency, it's perfect for entrepreneurs who see Japan as a long-term opportunity and wants to live here in the future. Let's talk about what you will need to qualify for this visa. There are 3 major requirements to meet: financial investment, office space, and a solid business plan. Let's talk about the financial requirement first. The main requirement to show, or the main requirement most people go for, is to invest 5 million yen in your business. So you need to show it through like a bank statement or a transaction slip. More on this on the next slide. An alternative method is also hiring 2 full-time Japanese employees. We will also talk about this on the next slide. The second requirement is the office space. All applicants for the Business Manager Visa, they have to secure a dedicated office space for their business, which is separate from their personal living space. So while, for example, you can create a company using your home address or using a virtual office, the requirements for the Business Manager Visa is a lot more strict, and co-working spaces and shared office will not work in this case. Finally, you will also need a solid business plan, and it must include things like service request intake, operational plan, your projections, your market analysis, and your business role within the company. Usually, the business plan should be around 4 to 5 pages. There are actually no upper requirements on how long your business plan should be or could be, but usually the immigrations would like to keep it under 4 to 5 pages. So let's talk about the financial requirements first. Like I've mentioned, you have to present 5 million yen via a bank statement or a transfer slip or like a transaction slip. And after you have shown that you have those 5 million, those 5 million can then be used as your business funding for your operations, marketing, sales, whatever that you like, as long as it's related to the business. Another requirement that people tend to go for, but it's less common, is to hire 2 full-time employees. And these employees must be either Japanese nationals or foreign nationals with a valid work permit, or they have a residency status in Japan. In reality, most of the clients that we have helped incorporate usually go for the 5 million yen option rather than the employees option. This is because of the cost associated with hiring 2 full-time staff. You'll have to pay for both their social insurance and labor insurance, which could easily add up to more than 5 million yen for a year. Next, let's move on to talking about some of the office space requirement. Your office space must meet specific criteria. So, for example, it should be separate from your living quarters and be suitable for business operations. So you need to have some essential features like a desk, like a log, or equipment necessary for the type of business that you're running. So share space or co-working space are generally don't qualify. So make sure you have the correct type of office or space that qualifies for this requirement. If you're not sure, please consult with us first. An additional point is that your lease agreement must be at least 1 year. Anywhere below 1 year, the immigration or the people who approve the visa will not accept that. Now let's dive into the business plan requirements for your business manager visa application. A strong and comprehensive business plan is crucial for showcasing the viability of your business to immigration authorities. Well, let's take a look. First, start with the service request intake. This is where you explain the nature of your business, its objectives, and the products or service you will offer. Clearly describe how your business will meet a specific need or solve a problem in the Japanese market, making it purpose and value immediately clear to the authorities. Next, include a market analysis. Provide an overview of your target market, potential clients, and the competitive landscape. Highlight key insights such as industry trends or demographic data and explain how your business is uniquely positioned to succeed in this environment. The goal of this section is to show that you have done your research and understand the opportunities and challenges in your chosen field. Third, present your financial projections. Outline your expected revenue, expenses, and profit for the next year or up to 3 years, next 1 to 3 years. Use realistic figures based on sound assumptions like customer acquisition rates or pricing strategies. Immigration officials will be looking for signs of financial stability, so this part needs to be well thought out and evidence-based. After that, describe your operational plan. This section focuses on the day-to-day operations of your business. Explain how you plan to deliver your products or service effectively, including details on key processes, team structures, and partnerships. Show that you have a clear and actionable strategy to achieve your business goals. Finally, detail your role as manager. This is your chance to demonstrate your active involvement in the company. Describe your leadership responsibility, how you will guide the business towards success, and how you will ensure compliance with Japanese business and regulatory standard. Remember, the business manager visa requires hands-on management, not passive oversight. So now that you have include all of these elements into your business plan, you will basically combine them together and craft a business plan that is both detailed, persuasive, and that will have a significant effect on the chances of your visa approval. Next, let's talk about some timeline and steps for applying for your business manager visa. This process is going to take you around 3 to 6 months, depending on how fast you get all the documents ready and how long that approval process will take. If you have all your documents ready and your documents look nice to the immigration authorities, usually it can be done even in 1 month, but on average we would say 2 months is a safer bet. A very important point to note before we jump into the timeline is that your company has to be already incorporated in Japan before you can apply for the business manager visa. So if you are from outside of Japan, you will have to find someone who can serve as your temporary representative in Japan and open a company for you. This is actually something that we can help you with. If you are interested, visit SmartStartJapan.com for a free 30-minute consultation with us. Alright, let's get started. Step 1 is gathering the required documentation. Start by assembling all necessary documents, including your company registration certificate, signed lease agreement for your office space, and a blank statement confirming your 5 million yen capital deposit. If you have a new business, include any new letter of intent or client relationship that you have established. Additionally, you will need proof of professional experience and a detailed business plan outlining your goals, operations, and financial projections, which we have discussed in the previous slides. Step 2 is completing the application forms. You will need to accurately fill out the Certificate of Eligibility, or the COE, which is a pre-visa document proving that you meet all the requirements or the criteria for the business manager visa. Ensure every detail is correct, because any errors that you have made could lead to delays. Next, you will submit your application. You will have to submit your application at the Immigration Bureau in Japan. Ensure all your documents, including your COE application, are included, and be ready to pay the required application fee. Fees and specific requirements may vary depending on where you apply though, so be prepared in advance or just contact us if you'd like to know more. Step 4 is wait. Wait for the immigration review. This process typically takes around 1 to 3 months depending on the complexity of your application. During this time, immigration authorities might request additional documentation or clarifications from your end. Be prepared to provide any additional information or material to promptly avoid any unnecessary delays to your business establishment. 5. Receive the COE. So once your COE application is approved, you'll need to act quickly, as it's usually only valid for, I think, 3 months. Use this time to complete your visa application at a Japanese embassy or consulate from your home country. If you are currently in Japan but you are from a different country, you have to return to your home country to apply for your visa at the consulate or embassy there. Make sure to bring your COE, your visa application form, and any other required materials, which we'll discuss later, into your home country's Japanese embassy or consulate. Alright, let's talk about what kind of documents you will need to gather for your business manager visa application. This step ensure your application is complete, and basically you can use this as a checklist for your review process before you submit your application to the immigration authorities. Alright, so first start with your business plan. A well-crafted business plan is the cornerstone of your application, so it should clearly outline your business objectives, your market strategy, your financial projections, as well as operational plans. This document demonstrates the viability of your business and your preparedness to manage it effectively. Second, your registration certificate. This certificate proves that your company is legally registered in Japan. If your registration process is still ongoing, make this a priority, as you will need to submit it for your visa application. Third, capital deposit confirmation. So immigration authorities will require you to prove that your business has, or you have at least 5 million yen in operating capital to invest in the business. This can be provided via bank statement or transaction slip showing the deposit into your company's account, or you have an account in your bank account that is a Japanese bank branch in your home country, or a local Japanese bank if you are in Japan. Next, let's talk about financial statements, if you have any, for your business. If your business is already operational, include any financial statements to provide a clear picture for the immigration authorities of your company's current status. For new business, you can include any contract, letter of intent, or client relationships to show that your business is solid. You're not a, let's say, a shell or empty company, right? Fifth, we will also need some kind of proof for your professional experience. You will need to provide evidence of at least 3 years of experience in business management or a related field. This demonstrates your qualification and ability to run the business successfully. The 3 years of experience is not a hard requirement, but it will help you increase the chance of your visa getting approved. Finally, you will need a lease agreement for your office space to be submitted. The agreement must show that your office meets the requirement for business use, as we have discussed earlier, with the company name clearly listed in your office. Make sure to include supporting documentation such as a floor plan or photos for the space to further validate the validity of your office. Next, let's focus on how to complete the application forms for your business manager visa. This is another critical part for your business manager application process. So there are 2 documents that you will need to complete or submit. Right. So the first one is your certificate of eligibility. The COE is a pre-visa document that confirms that basically you meet all the requirements for your for the business manager visa. It serves as a proof of your eligibility, and it must align with the supporting documents you'll be providing. Make sure to fill out this form carefully, because any errors in this COE form will definitely lead to delays. The second form you have to submit is the actual application to the business manager visa. This application is separate from the COE and can only be submitted once you have your COE approved. So make sure you follow all the instructions given by the Immigration Bureau after you receive the COE to make sure to complete this step carefully. Once you have all your documents and forms ready, the next step is to submit your application to the Immigration Bureau. So here's how you can proceed. So step 1 is choose your application route. You can submit your application from within Japan or at a Japanese consulate in your home country. Step 2, basically verify all your submission. Prepare multiple copies of all your required documents and make sure that they are all translated to Japanese if they are necessary, especially your business plan. Double check that nothing is missing or inconsistent, as well as any kind of errors, right? So any critical errors would obviously get you a call from the Immigration Bureau, and that would delay the process. Step 3, pay the application fee. The Immigration Bureau or the consulate will specify the payment methods and amounts which you can use, which can vary depending on where you're applying. Be ready to pay the fees as part of the submission process. So once you have followed these steps, you will have officially applied for your business manager visa. Once you have submitted your application, the next step is to await the Immigration Bureau response. The review process typically takes between 1 to 3 months, but this can vary depending on the complexity of your application. And some cases we have seen people who have gotten their visa in 1 month, sometimes 3. So it's really very case by case, and we cannot give you a definite answer on how long that it will take. During this time, immigration officials obviously could require you to submit request additional documents and clarification. So make sure to check your email, monitor your phone for any additional communications, and basically reply them as fast as you could, if any actually comes up. So once you have received your COE or your COE has been approved, so you're almost there and you're almost getting the visa. So the final steps are basically receiving the certificate of eligibility. So this is usually valid for 3 months. So you will have to complete your visa application before it expires. Next, you apply for the actual visa itself. So submit the COE, your passport, a completed visa application form, and any additional required documents to the Japanese embassy or consulate in your home country. Each embassy might have a slightly different requirements, possibly, so double check before submitting. Step 3, final registration and tax setup. So once you have your visa issued and you have arrived in Japan, make sure to go to your local city office to obtain your card, residence card. You also need to set up a personal bank account so that you can manage your finance here. Okay, so let's talk about some common pitfalls to avoid during your application process. To make sure your business manager visa application goes smoothly, you have to avoid a few basically common mistakes that people have made, right? So first, any incomplete or inconsistent documentations. This happens more often than you think. Double check that all forms are fully completed and your information is consistent across all of your documents. Errors or mismatched details can delay your application or raise concern during the review, especially names, any kind of financial sheets. It should be in the same currency, ideally. So these kind of things could lead to delays if you make a mistake. Second, any unclear business plan or finances, right? So immigration official needs to see a clear, evidence-based business plan. Avoid using any kind of vague statement or optimistic projections. Make sure you have your proper market research done, financial projections done, and your budget is within a reasonable standard or limits. Finally, a lot of people also overlook the social insurance and tax obligations after you have successfully acquired your business manager visa. You have to comply with all Japanese social insurance regulations for both you and your employees. So additionally, set an appropriate salary for yourself that reflects your business viability and make sure it complies with Japanese standards. I would also like to use a few minutes to talk about some do's and don'ts for the business plan, as well as your office setup and your social insurance. Let's talk about the business plan first. Basically, you have your business plan be as realistic as possible, providing some solid, accurate financial projections. And basically, you have to have a proof of demand, or you have to show that you have a market traction, right? So ensure your business plan is clear and detailed. Keep it under 5 pages, I would say. Avoid vague, unbacked goals and promises. Don't use generalizations like we aim to attract customers in Japan. That means nothing, right? Steer clear from unrealistic financials, such as projecting excessive revenues without evidence or basically failing to include proper market analysis in your business plan. Next, let's talk about the office setup in particular, because a lot of people get their business plan rejected because of this. Basically, some things to do. Secure a visa-friendly office. It has to be an independent office. So things like your living quarters or living space will not work. Co-working offices, shared offices will also not work. Consider commercial spaces in Tokyo, although understandably they are a bit more expensive. You also need to include a floor plan clearly showing the separation between any living spaces and working spaces. A good sign of that is you having a separate pantry, or a separate storage room, or a separate a company style toilet. That would be a very good sign. Some things to avoid would be using a residential address that doesn't meet the SOHO requirements. As for the SOHO requirements, you can go back to a few slides before this where we've talked about the specifics for the office setup. Finally, ignoring social insurance or salary requirements, both of which you will have to care about if you do decide to hire employees. Right, so enroll them in social insurance, set an appropriate salary for yourself. These are the things that you should do. Keep in mind that if you are the only employee for your company, then you will not have to care about the social or labor insurance since you're not hiring anyone, right? I want to stress that not a lot of people, or at least not a lot of foreigners, will do all the visa application process on their own. It's important to seek basically advisors or help when it comes to the business manager visa application. Is not a simple process, especially for foreigners. Consider hiring experts like us who specialize in visa applications to help you streamline the whole process and make sure that you have your business up and running and you have your visa in a couple of months. Don't assume the process is easy. Japan has a lot of weird and unique regulations, and their documentations have very standardized format, which requires you to understand a lot of local laws. Finally, let's discuss the duration and renewal process for the business manager visa. This visa is typically issued for only 1 year, with the possibility of renewals for 1, 3, or 5 years, depending on how good or how stable your business is in the eyes of immigration, right? So it allows you to basically grow your business within this time limit. To renew your business manager visa, you must demonstrate that your business is profitable. Make sure you are also compliant to any business or personal tax law. You pay all your taxes on time, and also adherence to all Japanese regulations. And one more thing about basically activities and restrictions under this visa. The business manager visa would allow you to basically establish or manage multiple business in Japan, make any investments that you want, or participate in any kind of joint ventures with Japanese or foreign businesses. This flexibility enables entrepreneurs like you to diversify their business activities while contributing to the Japanese economy. An additional point for establishing certain types of business, right? So certain industries may require you to have additional licenses depending on the type of businesses and the prefecture that you're in. For example, food services, trade, or medical industries often have specific licensing requirements that you have to meet before you finish applying for your application. And cost and application process for these licenses can also vary, so you'll have to prepare in advance, or better yet, just ask a professional. So that's it. Are you now ready to take the next step and apply for the business manager visa in Japan? At SmartStart Japan, we specialize in making this process as seamless as possible. We offer quick responses and detailed insights to get your business started smoothly. We can handle your business manager visa preparations for clients even overseas. Through our Smart Boost program, we can also assist you with securing subsidies and government-backed loans from the Japanese government. We have helped over 36 clients incorporate their business and help them with their visas in Japan. So if you need help, feel free to reach out.